Hello again, so happy you could be with us again today. We are reading from the Complete Jewish Bible, which is a translation of the Hebrew Bible. And we are going to Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 9. Shema. Hear Israel, Adonai our God, Adonai is one, and you are to love Adonai your God with all your heart, all your being, and all your resources. These words which I am ordering you today are to be on your heart, and you are to teach them carefully to your children. You're to talk about them when you sit at home, when you are traveling on the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. Tie them on your hand as a sign, put them at the front of a headband, around your forehead, and write them on the door frames of your house and on your gates. Matthew chapter 9, verses 9 to 14. Our Father in heaven, may your name be kept holy. May your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us the food we need today. Forgive us what we have done wrong, as we too have forgiven those who have wronged us. And do not lead us into hard testing, but keep us safe from the evil one. For kingship, power, and glory are yours forever. Amen. Genesis chapter 13. Avram went up from Egypt, he, his wife, and everything he had, and Lot went with him into the Negev. Avram became wealthy with much cattle, silver, and gold. As he went on his travels from the Negev, he came to Beit El, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Beit El and Ai, where he had first built the altar, and there Avram called on the name of Adonai. Lot, who was traveling with Avram, also had flocks, herds, and tents. But the land could not support their living together, because their possessions were too great for them to remain together. Moreover, quarreling arose between Avram and Lot's herdsmen. The Canaanite and the Perizzites were then living in the land. Avram said to Lot, "Please, let's not have quarreling between you and me, or between my herdsmen and yours, since we're kinsmen. Isn't the whole land there in front of you? Please separate yourself from me. If you go to the left, I will go to the right. If you go to the right, I will go to the left." Lot looked up and saw that the whole plain of the Jordan was well watered everywhere. Before Adonai destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of Adonai, like the land of Egypt in the direction of Zoar. So Lot chose all the plain of the Jordan for himself, and Lot traveled eastward. Thus they separated themselves from each other. Avram lived in the land of Canaan, and Lot lived in the cities of the plain, setting up the tent near Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were evil, committing great sins against Adonai. Adonai said to Avram, after Lot had moved away from him, "Look all around you from where you are, to the north, to the south, the east, and the west. All the land you see I will give to you and your descendants, and to your seed forever. And I will make your descendants as numerous as the specks of dust on the earth, so that if a person can count the specks of dust on the earth, then your descendants can be counted. Get up and walk through the length and breadth of the land, because I will give it to you." Avram moved his tent and came to live by the oaks of Mamre, which are in Hebron. There he built an altar to Adonai. Joshua chapter 13. Now Joshua was old, the years had taken their toll. Adonai said to him, "You are old, and the years have taken their toll, but there is yet a great deal of land to be possessed. This is the land that still remains, all the region of the Philistine, and all the Geshurites, from the Chikor, which fronts Egypt, to the border of Ekron. Northward from there, the land is considered as belonging to the Canaanites. That is the territory of the rulers of the Philistine in Azah, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gat, and Ekron. Also the Avim to the south, all the land of the Canaanites, Meir Arah, which belongs to the Sidonim, as far as Aphek, and on to the border with the Amorites. The land of the Givli, all the Lebanon, eastward from the Baal Gad, at the foot of Mount Hermon to the entrance of Hamat. As for the inhabitants of the hills between the Lebanon and Mesrephat Mayim, that is, all the Sidonim. I myself will expel them ahead of the people of Israel. All you have to do is assign it to Israel as an inheritance, as I have ordered you. So now divide this land as an inheritance for the 9 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh. With the half-tribe of Manasseh, the Reubenites and the Gadites received their inheritance, which Moshe had given them, beyond the Jordan, eastward, just as Moshe, the servant of Adonai, had given them. From Aroer, on the edge of the Arnon Valley, the city in the middle of the valley, all the plateau between Medva and Divan, and all the cities of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who ruled in Heshbon, to the border with the people of Ammon, and Gilad, the territory of the Geshurites, and Ma'akati, all Mount Hermon, all Bashan, as far as Salcah, that is, all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, who ruled in Ashtaroth and Edrei. Og was one of those remaining from the Rephaim, whom Moshe defeated and expelled. However, the people of Israel expelled neither the Geshurite nor the Ma'akati, with the consequence that Geshur and Ma'akat have lived among Israel to this day. Only to the tribe of Levi did Moshe give no inheritance, because the offerings made by fire for Adonai to the God of Israel are its inheritance, as Adonai had said to Moshe. Moshe gave land to the tribe of the descendants of Reuben by clans. Their territory included Aroer on the edge of the Arnon Valley, the city in the middle of the valley, all the plateau near Medva, Heshbon and its villages on the plateau, Divan, Bamat Baal, Beit Baal, Mon, Jahat, Kedemot, Mephat, Kiriatayim, Sivma, Seret Shekar at the top of the valley, Beit Por, the slopes of Pisgah, Beit Jeshimot, all the cities of the plateau, all the kingdom of Sihon king of the Amorites, who ruled in Heshbon. Moshe defeated him with the chiefs of Midian, along with the Evites, Rekem, Zur, Hur, and Reva, the princes of Sihon, who lived in the land. Along with the others, the people of Israel killed with the sword. They also struck down Bilam, the son of Bor, who practiced divination. The Jordan formed the border for the descendants of Reuben. This was the inheritance of the descendants of Reuben by clans, with its cities and villages. Moshe gave land to the tribe of Gad, to the descendants of Gad by clan. Their territory included Jazer, all the cities of Gilad, half the land of the people of Ammon, as far as Aroer, fronting Rabbah, that is, from Heshbon to Remo Mitzpeh, and Batanim, and from Machanaim to the border of Lidvir. While in the valley it included Beit Haram, Beit Nimrah, Sukkot, and Saphon. In other words, the rest of the kingdom of Sihon king of Heshbon, with the Jordan to the far east of Lake Kinneret at its border, their territory extended eastward. This is the inheritance of the descendants of God by clans, with its cities and villages. Moshe gave an inheritance to the half-tribe of Manasseh. It was for the half-tribe of the descendants of Manasseh by clan. Their territory included Machanaim and all the Bashan, that is, all the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, all the villages of Yair in Bashan, 60 cities, half of Gilad, and Ashtaroth and Edrei, the cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All this was for the descendants of Machir, the son of Manasseh, or rather, for half of the descendants of Machir by clans. These are the inheritances which Moshe distributed in the plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan and Jericho, eastward. But to the tribe of Levi, Moshe gave no inheritance. Adonai, the God of Israel, is their inheritance, as he told them. Psalms chapter 13. A Psalm of David. How long, Adonai, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I keep asking myself what to do with sorrow in my heart every day? How long must my enemy dominate me? Look and answer me, Adonai my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep, the sleep of death. Then my enemy would say I was able to beat him, and my adversaries would rejoice at my downfall. But I trust in your grace. My heart rejoices as you bring me to safety. I will sing to Adonai because he gives me even more than I need. Matthew chapter 13. The same day Joshua went out of the house and sat down by the lake. But such a large crowd gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat there while the crowd stood on the shore. He told them many things in parables. A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he sowed, some seed fell alongside the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Other seed fell on rocky patches where there was not much soil. It sprouted quickly because the soil was shallow, but when the sun had risen, the young plants were scorched, and since their roots were not deep, they dried up. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants, but others fell into rich soil and produced grain, 100 or 60 or 30 times as much as had been sown. Those who have ears, let them hear. Then the Talmudim came and asked Joshua, "Why are you speaking to them in parables?" He answered, "Because it has been given to you to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but it has not been given to them. For anyone who has something will be given more, so that he will have plenty. But from anyone who has nothing, even what he does have will be taken away. Here is why I speak to them in parables. They look without seeing and listen without hearing or understanding. That is, in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which says, 'You will keep on hearing but never understand, and keep on seeing but never perceive, because the heart of this people has become dull. With their ears they barely hear, and their eyes they have closed, so as not to see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their heart, and do Shuvah, so that I could heal them.' But how blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. Yes, indeed, I tell you that many a prophet and many a tzaddik longed to see the things you are seeing, but did not see them, and to hear the things you are hearing, but did not hear them. So listen to what the parable of the sower means. Whoever hears the message about the kingdom but doesn't understand it is like the seed sown along the path. The evil one comes and seizes what was sown in his heart. The seed sown on rocky ground is like a person who hears the message and accepts it with joy at once, but has no root in himself. So he stays on for a while, but as soon as some trouble or persecution arises on account of the message, he immediately falls away. Now the seed sown among thorns stands for someone who hears the message, but is choked by the worries of the world and the deceitful glamour of wealth, so that it produces nothing. However, what was sown on rich soil is the one who hears the message and understands it. Such a person will surely bear fruit, and 100 or 60 or 30 times what was sown. Joshua put before them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field, but while people were sleeping, his enemy came in and sowed weeds among the wheat, then went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads of grain, the weeds also appeared. The owner's servants came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow good seed in the field? Where have the weeds come from?" He answered, "An enemy has done this." The servants asked him, "Then do you want us to go and pull them up?" But he said, "No, because if you pull up the weeds, you might uproot some of the wheat at the same time. Let them both grow together until the harvest, and at harvest time I will tell the reapers to collect the weeds first and tie them in bundles to be burned, but to gather the wheat into my barn." Joshua put before them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed which a man takes and sows in the field. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it grows up, it is larger than any garden plant and becomes a tree, so that the birds flying about come and nest in its branches. And he told them yet another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed with a bushel of flour, then waited until the whole batch of dough rose. All these things Yeshua said to the crowds in parables. Indeed, he said nothing to them without using a parable. This was to fulfill what had been spoken through the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will say what has been hidden since the creation of the universe. Then he left the crowds and went into the house. His Talmudim approached him and said, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field." He answered, "The one who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. As for the good seed, those are the people who belong to the kingdom, and the weeds are the people who belong to the evil one. The enemy who sows them is the adversary. The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are angels. Just as the weeds are collected and burned up in the fire, so will it be at the end of age. The Son of Man will send forth his angels, and they will collect out of his kingdom all the things that cause people to sin and all the people who are far from the Torah. And they will throw them into the fiery furnace where people will wait and grind their teeth. Then the righteous will shine forth like the sun in the kingdom. In the kingdom of their Father. Whoever has ears, let him hear. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. A man found it, hid it again, then in great joy went and sold everything he owned and bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant on the lookout for fine pearls. On finding one very valuable pearl, he went away, sold everything he owned, and brought it. Once more, the kingdom of heaven is like a net thrown into the lake that caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen brought the net up onto the shore, sat down and collected the good fish in baskets, but threw the bad fish away. So it will be at the close of age. The angels will go forth and separate the evil people from among the righteous and throw them into the fiery furnace, where they will wail and grind their teeth. Have you understood all these things? Yes, they answered. He said to them, So then, every Torah teacher who has been made into a Talmud for the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a home who brings out of his storage room both new things and old. When Yeshua had finished these parables, he left and went to his hometown. There he taught them in their synagogue in a way that astounded them, so that they asked, Where do this man's wisdom and miracles come from? Isn't he the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother called Miriam, and his brothers Jacob, Joseph, Shimon, and Judah? And his sisters, aren't they all with us? So where does he get all this? And they took offense at him. But Yeshua said to them, The only place people do not respect a prophet is in his hometown and in his own house. And he did few miracles there because of their lack of trust. Numbers chapter 6, verses 24 through 26. May Adonai bless you and keep you. May Adonai make his face shine on you and show you his favor. May Adonai lift his face towards you and give you his shalom. Thank you again for joining us. I hope to see you soon. Blessings and shalom.